Pittsburgh Steelers fans, thanks for joining us for another Wednesday night episode of the Pump Your Brakes podcast. I'm one of three right now in the building. It's myself, Tate, Mr. Algorithm himself, Big-G in the building, and Mr. Triple OG, Shannon the Italian Stallion, Rocky Balboa, Shannon White. What's up, gentlemen?
What's cracking, man? What's going on this week? It's Thanksgiving Eve, but I'm a little bit out of gas, but I'm glad we're going to do a show tonight because I need some rest tomorrow. But happy Thanksgiving to all the people in the live chat, man. Thanks for joining us. Glad to get together with my Steeler brothers on a Wednesday night and do what we do, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Shannon, what's good?
Just ready for a Thanksgiving and all the good food and fellowship and ready for the show tonight.
Oh, Shannon, you know what, man? I don't think I told you, but you actually talked some up, man.
What does Shannon talk up? What you talking about?
Man, just some regular old Steeler news. You know Shannon be knowing what he talking about most times, not all the time, most of the times. But Shannon, check this out, man. You tell me, you tell me what you noticed. Oh, let me pull up this graphic.
Oh yeah. I figured it was any time.
Yeah, it was any time, man. So he did that this past Saturday.
Well, that's awesome. I'm happy for them both.
Yeah, no doubt. But all right. That's for everybody watching the live chat. We had a guest on the show a couple of weeks ago when the Steelers played the Commanders, Marlon Dyer. My niece's boyfriend at the time, now fiance, proposed to her this past Saturday. Like I said, she said yes. It was at her book release and book signing. After that, he proposed to her because it's kind of a special day for her because of two things now: her book release and the actual book signing. So that was pretty cool. But yeah,
that is great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see young people get off to a good start and have the foundation rooted in the church and through Jesus Christ and stuff like that. So there's some good young people. So shout out.
You should have initiated him. If you didn't, shame on you. That brother should have got the business. I don't care what nobody say, man. The business.
Oh, I told my brother. Now it's time for us to go Will Smith and Martin on Bad Boys too.
Yeah, it's time. He needs the business. He thought y'all was all nice and fluffy and soft and wasn't gonna do nothing and all whatever else. Get him on in and close the door. And after you close the door, then we're gonna find out what we need to find out.
Marlon, I don't think Marlon need that, man.
He need the business, bro. That's part. It's a rites of passage. Everybody gets the business. Come on now. That's part of it.
You gave the business?
I've already did it twice. In the man, it got ugly, bro. It got ugly. That's all I know. I can't go into details because they might ban us from the FCC. But I'm telling you right now, I handle my business, man. And I'm going to be straight.
Big-G, he's a respectful young man. He don't need you giving him the business.
Yeah, listen, I'll fly to Maryland just to give him the business. I promise you, Tate say, "G, we got to get him." I'm on the way. If Damon go back down and all, I'm on the way. I'm telling you right now, he's getting the business.
My brother says it's probably too late for that, but I think he's a good guy.
Yeah, so I'm giving him the business.
With it. But fellas, we got a good show tonight, man. We're gonna get down with the Running Through the Jungle crew. My boy B Dirt is in the building. With the homie Tim Lyons and J Lacey in the building with B Dirt. So we got most of the Bengals crew anyway. Got some Q&A for them if y'all want to ask them some questions. And we're just going to talk about the game and what's going on both with the Bengals and Steelers. So without further ado, we're gonna just shout out a couple people in the live chat.
Man, I see everybody. It's Boxing Man 1, the Matrix champion and general himself, Claude Bishop, TD Dessenberger, Gavin Anthony, Afton, the chat general is over there. What's cracking, Afton? Eric Parker, what's going on? Do you see Afton? You see how he cutting up? I'm about to get him with the no Diddy right now. Rob Lightfoot, what's going on? The mother of Afton, Kathy, what's happening? T. Riley Blackstreet, Craig Withrow, Jay Steed, Boxing Man going over there.
My brother lives in Ohio.
Timor 86, Luke K 77, Clinton Perrin, man, what's cracking, man? George T, Valley 4, man, what's cracking, man? John, what's going on? We got about 50 in here, man. Money Bags up in here. What's up, Money Bags? He said it's his first live show, man. That's what I'm talking about, Money Bags.
Money Bags' first live show?
Yeah, he said we got Money Bags first live show. So welcome to the live show. Welcome to the chat, man. Jared Devil as normal. Jay Steed. You know, we got the crew in here, man, but we're going to be up to 100 something in a minute. Phoenix 55, what's going on, man? Pittsburgh Toddy, what's cracking? The squad is in the building, bro.
Hey, man, let's go ahead and hit the intro. After the intro, I'm gonna bring the Running Through the Jungle crew into the building, and we're gonna go from there. So, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take this first commercial break real quick, then come back with the intro, then bring them in. So we only got to stop one more time.
Gotcha.
So if you're watching on YouTube, you know we're not going nowhere. Stay with us. Just give us a slight pause. We got to hear some few words from our advertisers and sponsor on the audio side, and we'll be right back after this. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast on a Wednesday night. About to hit this intro real quick, and then we're going to bring in the Running Through the Jungle crew. Here we go, coming at you with a crossover podcast between the Steel Curtain Network and the Running Through the Jungle crew. So I'm just going to hand it over to the homie B Dirt. Let B Dirt go ahead and B Dirt, tell us about some Bengal news. Tell us about your channel, what you guys got going on, and just update us on everything Bengals that you can in the first 5 or 6 minutes, man.
Well, I appreciate you having us on here to rock with you once again. Right Through the Jungle. We got the boy Tim Lyons and Justin Lacey here with us. Tim rocks with us from out the Pacific Northwest out in Seattle, the Seattle area. Glad to see he's got power and Wi-Fi back on. Had a little electrical problem out there. Did you have a monsoon? What was the weather situation out there, Tim?
We had a cyclone boom come in here, and it wiped everybody out for about between 5 to 7 days, 65-mile-per-hour winds. It was no fun.
It does not sound like fun. Justin is in Cincinnati. He's our 1513 that reps with us every week. Justin, how's it down in Cincinnati right now? What's the temperature getting ready to go into this game?
It's going to be frigid when kickoff happens on Sunday. It's going to be like in the 20s and 30s and whatnot. But as right now, I mean, the weather is in like the mid 40s and stuff. And just pretty much your typical southwestern Ohio type of weather. We're not Cleveland. Okay. I know that Pittsburgh, y'all just came off of playing a big game against the Browns in that snow globe. We had a little bit of snow down here, but for the most part, man, we escaped all of that stuff. So, but I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. It's going to be, to me, it's going to be like lackluster, whatever football on Thursday for Thanksgiving. But the Sunday slate, man, I'm kind of going to keep my eyes peeled on other teams outside of just us.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, I actually live in Pittsburgh. I'm not originally from Pittsburgh. I am a transplant, but been a Bengals fan since I was knee high, and it's been rough. There's been some rough years, and we like some of the things we're doing right now. Some of the things we don't like. It's been pretty widely addressed by our group and our crew from early on in this season before most hope was lost. We've been talking about the coaching staff. But listen, nothing to worry about, Bengals fans. They fixed everything. The coaching staff has it all under control. There are ping pong tables now. Am I right, fellas? Justin, Tim, everything's solved now, right? Competition's coming back.
I've never seen any other organization stress the importance of ping pong tables like the Bengals organization do. The fact that several different media outlets had to tweet it out to make everybody aware just goes to show you how important ping pong tables are in locker rooms. I didn't know that was a thing. But also, too, the competitive juices that be flowing when they have those ping pong games is crazy. Like, I saw it was like a picture last year when Tyler Boyd was going against, I think, Chidobe Awuzie. Both of them.
Neither one of them are there anymore. That might be part of the problem.
Both the Titans, but they were playing an electrifying ping pong game, and Tyler Boyd, I think, won because it was like intense. It was almost like they threw hands on the field kind of ordeal. So it can get pretty serious. And then you got Joe Burrow talking smack, saying, telling people like, "Get the F off my table" when he gets up to win. So it's like, okay, I kind of like that kind of concept, but at the end of the day, it don't mean a damn thing. It really don't, because it ain't football. It's still nice to have it. It's still fun, but I feel like we made way too much of a big deal about it. At least our fan base did on Twitter at this point.
Yeah, I don't understand how it even got leaked, how it even got spoke about, why it's tweeted out by the media. That's something, leave that behind closed doors, man. Right now, our main issues have been blocking, tackling, and scheming people open on offense for easy completions instead of having to win one-on-one matchups or one-on-two matchups sometimes, or scheming defense. I mean, defense has been not good this year, to say the least. So I don't see ping pong helping with that.
Right.
Listen, the other news for this time of year, the injury report's not horrible, and you're coming off of a bye week. You're steaming against a opponent that you're very, used to, aware of. The biggest change right now would be Wilson at quarterback. So if we don't see a good Bengals performance this week, I lose hope that we see one. Period.
Yeah, it's do or die this week, B. If the Bengals
die for 3 straight weeks, the only reason why we ain't dead yet is because the AFC also keeps losing. Everybody that's on that bubble keeps losing.
Right. An 8-loss Bengals season after this game, it's adios muchachos, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to focus on the draft. The season is over. So, and we know that. As Steeler fans, we know that we're going to get the absolute best effort this week against the Bengals. We know that. We know that. That's why I'm telling everybody right now in the live chat, buckle up, dog. Buckle up. Because we're gonna have to get some points this week to beat the Bengals. Because we know this is do or die. Ride or die, it's all over with.
Yeah, the Chargers lost, I think, too. They're going to be one of those teams that are going to be in there looking at a playoff berth possibility. They're not going to win, obviously, the AFC West, so they're going to be one of those teams that are going to be looking to possibly sneak in that wild card. You know, we lost to them, so we got to start. We got to win out, or one loss at the most. The west of the way out.
Mm-hmm. That's big facts. Hey, so Tate, where we going with the next segue? We going to the Steelers, or which way we going, man? Which way we headed with this?
Well, is be there. Y'all done in the news in Bingo Land besides the ping pong table? And I think the ping pong table, personally, just keeping it on you guys stuff, is Mike Brown's way of getting something cheap to try and develop something to do.
So you think it's a pizza party?
Well, I think it's his way of thinking. I'm trying to do something, but I want to spend a whole bunch of money to do it.
It's pizza party instead of bonuses. The Bengals have always had that mantra of being cheap, but you look at what they've done. 3 years ago and 2 years ago, completely redid the outside facilities and a dome facility. Last year, they completely redid the locker room facilities. They are actually starting to, Paycor Stadium now has the rights to the stadium instead of the family. They're taking that money, reinvesting it into stuff. They are starting to do those things. The problem I got is they didn't pay T. Higgins in the offseason, and then franchise tagged him, and then when they didn't pay him, you have that pot, right? And they didn't use it. And then Jamar Chase put his hand up, and they said, no, not for you either. Like, what are you saving it for? We had $9 million rolled over from last year. Then we had about $12 million left over from this year. You had $20 million against the salary cap that would have been a heck of a bonus and would have helped out for next year and the salary cap for next year by paying an extra $20 million in bonus money up front.
Yeah. And I think letting Joe Mixon go was a mistake.
Joe Mixon averaged about 0.1 yards more than Chase Brown has so far this year. It's not Joe Mixon. It's not Chase Brown.
It's the run scheme all the way around when it comes to the Bengals, because we hear that a lot from a lot of outsiders. And I know the public news is always going to be, see what Joe Mixon is doing with Houston as opposed to what he was here in Cincinnati. Y'all could have had them both. I get it. But that's just lip serving. That's just noise, because at the end of the day, we can say the same thing about a lot of teams that lost running backs that went to new teams. This ain't like Saquon Barkley when he left the Giants and he got signed with the Eagles. It ain't like that. We are very proud of what Joe Mixon is doing. But at the end of the day, as what Beater already alluded to, this goes down to coaching at this point. We like what Chase Brown is doing. I think that he fits more of what the explosiveness of getting runs, catching passes out of the backfield. He fits more of that dynamic approach that I believe that the Bengals wanted to go in that direction. But the problem is the coaches took way too long to get him on the field. And it took to Zach Moss getting hurt for them to finally utilize him to the full extent that we could. And yet we're still not running the ball as much as we should be, because the strength is in the passing game. But at the end of the day, look, we appreciate what Joe Mixon did. I think that he's killing it in Houston. We know he's killing it in Houston. And I appreciate him, everything he's did here. And I wish that he didn't have to go. But I think that the Bengals just understood that the direction of the offense and what they wanted to go in the offseason didn't really feature Joe Mixon as much. And they felt like his skill set was better suited elsewhere. And they damn near cut him. And then Houston called the Bengals front office and said, hey, we want to offer you a 7th-round pick since you're about to cut him. We don't want him to hit waivers because we're going to probably lose out on him, whatever. And the Bengals decided to go ahead and trade him to Houston. And then they informed Joe Mixon and said, hey, Houston is willing to take you. And they also want to extend you by giving you a 3-year contract. So we're going to send you here. They're an ascending team in the AFC. I think that this will be a good fit for you, and it's a fresh start for you. The Bengals organization did right by Joe Mixon from start to finish, if you ask me personally, man.
No,
Because
they did do right, but it's not like you guys couldn't use them. We get the same thing in Pittsburgh. Some people think Jalen Warren should be the running back. But believe me, if you lose Najee Harris, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna lose a piece of your identity.
You need a bell cow back. Down. What I will say is what the Bengals have failed to do was divide up a plan post Joe Mixon. And they instead tried to sell us on, well, we did draft Chase Brown with the 5th round last year. Okay, he got some good snaps and stuff like that in 23. And then in the offseason, you signed Zach Moss. Everybody and their mama knew Zach Moss was not going to be enough if you wanted to revitalize the running game. You should have did more and got a running back in the draft like we were all, pitching here on the show. I know, Tim, you can speak to this more, but Audric Estime was a guy that we had our eyes on in the draft, like in the mid rounds, and they decided to not move the needle. And they did. We've seen this coaching staff and this regime do this time and time and again with other positions. They still haven't figured out the answer at tight end. And it's at this point, it's like guys are going to keep leaving and get contracts elsewhere, and the Bengals don't even come up with a plan post those guys' exits.
Let me jump to this super chat from the homie Claude Bishop.
G, number three, G.
I heard you say on Steelers Almighty that Justin Fields should play 1 and 2 quarters. Was crazy talk. Seek some help, Mr. Bias. Card number 3, Claude. He picked his own card.
Well, and based on what happened in Cleveland, Claude, which I was talking about and preferencing, absolutely, it was a Justin Fields type game. It was snow. Russ couldn't see what was going on. He needed to have the RPO element happening for the Pittsburgh Steelers that particular game, and it would have benefited the Steelers. They waited too late. They put him in late in the 4th quarter, and it cost us the victory. But I don't want to talk over spilled milk. But by the way, dog, Claude, you can get to kicking rocks, dude, because you have absolutely no clue with Mr. Bias himself. And Claude, you see, we got your Attorney General on here with you tonight, Claude. So don't be shocked if you get a little message talking about, man, chill out, Claude.
Okay. Shannon and Big-G, I'm coming to y'all now, man. So the Steelers, what's going on with Steelers news this week? Is Highsmith he's still questionable. He's not listed as playing yet. Do we know if Corey Trice is coming back?
Shannon, you got it, or you want me to get it? Because I know everything that's going on.
I think Corey Trice will be back.
Mm-hmm.
And Highsmith couldn't practice, so I don't think he'll be playing this week.
Mm-hmm. There was no practice. Actually, Highsmith was standing on the sideline. I think they said he had his helmet, but I don't think he had any shoulder pads, just like a practice shirt. Corey Trice, every other Steeler that was available to be able to play for this week's game against the Bengals, that was on the IR, outside of the guys that got limited because of just resting them, was able to full practice. So I think we'll be at full strength. I give Highsmith the 50-50 call right now, 50-50. And I get it, because they're not going to try to rush him. They want him to be 100% healthy, because a lot of times when ankles and stuff like that, you roll your ankle, it could be an issue, man. So I think they're ready to ride, man. I think, like I said, outside of Highsmith, we're ready to go. We're at full strength.
Well, Big G, one-time, very average Steelers quarterback, Mark Malone, as the OSU QB, needs to sit the bench.
I hear him. But Mark Malone, just like I tell all the Steeler fans everywhere, we're going to need Justin Fields if we're going to have a run. Trust me. He's already shown it, but you'll see. You'll see this week. You just saw it last week against Cleveland. We're going to need Justin.
Why is Trice in the Matrix?
I have no clue. Listen.
You know the only person going to the Matrix behind that comment
Mark
is
Malone.
you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark Malone. Matrix bound himself. Yeah.
Oh, so if my memory serves me correct, Justin Fields is 4-2 as Steelers starting quarterback. Russell Wilson is 4-1.
Correct.
Not a huge disparity. And I think the defense gave up the game against Dallas, letting Dallas drive the length of the field for a game-winning touchdown when they got the ball with 4 minutes left. And the Colts game was really, really a tough game, but I felt like the Steelers were on their way back if it wasn't before the bad center QB exchange. Not blaming anybody, but it was that play that cost the game.
Yeah.
Shannon, what do you think about some of this stuff being said, man?
Which stuff are you talking about?
Anything you want to hark on?
Nothing in particular right now.
Okay. So what we're gonna do now, real quick, is take another quick break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this particular game, and we can even talk about both the matchups coming to the season. We're gonna look at the last playoff spot, see where the Bengals stand, where some of the other teams stand, or do the Bengals have to play any of those teams that are slightly ahead of them? But if you're watching on YouTube, we're not going anywhere. If you're listening on audio, you have to hear a few words from our partners one more time. Pay some bills around here. And we'll be right back after this.
Find him, Big G. Find him.
Big Fine.
And we're back on Wednesday night Pump Your Brakes podcast. I deserve the big fine, but keep in mind, I get fined because I try and be super quiet during the break, and I hit the mute button, and I did forget to turn it back off. But on this Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, so real quick, fellas, what's the plan for Thanksgiving tomorrow? Starting with you, Tim.
I'm going to be smoking a ham. Wife's going to be making, all the sides, the mashed potatoes, and then she's making some. Believe it or not, she's making some bread rolls. That she's seen them online or something like that. Made them look like turkeys, really small little turkeys. So yeah, but it's just the five of us. I don't have my whole family here in Washington, so it's just the five of us. It's my wife and my daughter, and then my two in-laws that are coming over, and that's it.
Okay. Jay Lacey, what you got going on, man, for the Thanksgiving holiday?
Yeah, no, for sure. Me and the lady, we going to spend some time with her family, and enjoy some great, just some great food and comfort there. And I'm cool, and I'm glad that I ain't got to cook nothing. I ain't got to prepare anything. I just got to show up. I'll bring a bottle of wine, I guess, but I'll just show up and then eat, and then mingle for a bit, just throughout the rest of the day. But yeah, not a lot happening. I mean, they know that when I'm coming over, they also know that I'm going to be just sitting in front of the TV watching football games anyway. So that's, but it's always a good time. It's always a good time spending time with the in-laws.
Right. Okay. B Dirt, what about you, man? I know you're making the dressing, 3 different types. Where you taking it, or where you hosting? What's going on?
No, we go over. We do a Friendsgiving, so it's the family gets together for Christmas a couple different times. We've been doing Friendsgiving the past few years. Jess has been doing it for longer than that. A bunch of friends that come from all over the place, from out of town, and we go over to one of our friends' house. Gracious host, turkey, prime rib, dressings, bean, all the sides. Very much a foodie culture and a foodie group of people we got, and lots of champagne and wine will be flowing as well.
Awesome, man. That sounds like fun. I never participated in a Friendsgiving before, but Shannon, what about you, man? You got
we have the family and my son's engaged to some of the future in-laws, and we always have much to be thankful for. So we always enjoy. My mom and my wife are great cooks, so I always look forward to it and making memories. A lot of times it was my father's birthday. His birthday is the 27th, and he's been gone 10 years now, but it used to Thanksgiving will fall on his birthday sometimes.
how old would your dad be today? Yes, today. Yeah, today.
79.
79.
If he was still with us. So, but so we're looking forward to tomorrow, and like I said, making memories and giving thanks.
It's awesome, man. Hey, let me back up. What time? This is 2 questions to everybody. Big G, I'm gonna get everything from you at one time. What time does dinner start for everybody? And what's your favorite dish you're looking forward to tomorrow? Tim.
You know, dinner starts whenever my wife says that she wants the ham done by. That's when dinner starts. You know, like around here, you know, our in-laws are older, so they like to eat earlier. So, you know, probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock, we'll probably have dinner. But other than that, you know, it's all up to the wife.
Yeah, that's what everybody's doing is they're just eating during that Dallas game because nobody wants to see Dallas and the Giants in particular be on this background noise. But you know, you can definitely eat during that time.
Right.
Jay Lacey, what about you, man? What time y'all start getting down?
Oh yeah, probably around 3 o'clock, maybe even sooner if it all goes well. I know that we'll probably start getting there and prepping the food around noon to 1. Again, that's right around the time the Detroit and the Bears that Thanksgiving Day, the first Thanksgiving game. I believe that that's going to be the game that everybody's going to try to get things ready and prepped up ahead of time for when the second Thanksgiving slate happens. Like 3:30 or something. That's when we're going to start getting ready to eat. And then while you get done eating, and then by the time everybody's full, got the desserts in, the Thursday night game, the Cowboys and the Giants, we going to sleep. You know, we're not.
No, Cowboys Giants is afternoon. The Packers,
Oh,
the
gross.
Dolphins is nighttime.
Gross. Okay, then then we gonna have to make some arrangements because I ain't trying to watch the Giants and the Cowboys. Those are two pathetic.
That's why I said it's just gonna be background noise.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
That's fine. Eating.
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
In my house, I got the TV on the wall over the fireplace. My kitchen is open. It's like the kitchen table and some stools at the island and stuff. So everybody can look at it, but nobody's paying attention to it. We eating and talking and socializing. But B-Dirt, time for the Friendsgiving, and what are you looking forward most to eating? Jay Lacey, you just answer that one.
Oh yeah, that's right. I ain't even answered that. Baked mac and cheese is my number one dish. It has to be there. It has to be prepared. If I would make it myself, but you know they do a really good job of cooking mac and cheese as well too. But you got to have baked mac and cheese. And as far as like the spread between like everybody's decision between like turkey or ham or whatnot, honestly, as long as it's flavorful and it tastes good, I really don't care.
Right. B-Dirt, Friendsgiving time. Favorite dish you looking forward to tomorrow?
So Friendsgiving arrival is 3:30, and it'll start trickling in. We'll put out appetizers probably, between 3:30 and 4, but dinner will be served probably around 5-ish, give or take. And what am I looking forward to the most? It's a toss-up between the Creole dressing with the andouille sausage and crawfish and shrimp and cornbread stuffing. That with a nice prime rib. That's it. That's the win. That's the winning bite right there. Both those together.
So you say you use cornbread. You don't use breadcrumbs and stuff.
I use cornbread breadcrumbs.
Okay.
For the Creole stuffing. Now, for the regular stuffing and the Italian stuffing, I use regular breadcrumbs.
Okay. Like I was making mine before we came on live, and I just took the cornbread out the oven. I use regular cornbread and just crumble it up. Mix in all the sage, the celery, whatever, and do it like that. Shannon, time and what you looking forward to the most? We're looking forward to everything, but just one favorite, like that you're going to definitely get.
Well, usually between 2 and 3, and it's when we eat. And it's hard for me to pick just one thing. My wife makes the best turkey that I've ever had. You know, I mean, I've tried prepared different ways, but hers is the best. but I got to have it all. I like it all. So just one thing is my favorite. I really can't say.
Okay. Big-G, time. What y'all doing? I know y'all hosting. You told me that already.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna have a house full of people. Probably about 20 people?
Somewhere close to that, around 20.
Okay. So what time y'all getting started?
1 o'clock p.m. sharp.
Okay.
1
That's
o'clock p.m.
somewhere around my time range, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And come on, man. Give me. And it don't gotta be your favorite. What are you looking forward to first?
Candy yams and greens. Got to have that bite together. Candy yams and greens. I mean, what do you mean? But listen, I got a smoked turkey out there handling this business right now. That sucker been out there for about 2 hours. So I'm gonna go check on the bird here in a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Hope
Mm-hmm.
y'all have a great time tomorrow. I know you got the in-laws, the son-in-laws, their daughters, your wife, and you even got a few extra family members coming over, right?
Yeah. My son-in-law has got to sneak in here. He's literally sneaking in here tomorrow for a few hours, and he got to turn around and get back to Columbus, Ohio, because we got some business to handle on Saturday. But I will talk about that later on. We'll talk about that probably on the Homies podcast on Friday. So he's home. He got to do the coaching thing and all whatever else, be at the Woody, all the little responsibilities he has. So he's going to sneak in for a minute and then get up on out of here.
Okay. Well, for me, my family is here now. My sister, her husband, my niece and nephews, my brother, his son, my mom, my wife, and myself. For starters, all we know as of right now. Somebody could pull up on us and they welcome his family. But that's what we know. My sister is in there cooking her stuff. So me and my wife, we for this our third year in a row where we order 18-pound fried turkey, got a gallon and a half of mac from a soul food restaurant here, a gallon and a half of macaroni and cheese and some cabbage. I make the dressing. My wife made the greens. My sister's making her couple of dishes. My mom made some earlier today. So yeah, that refrigerator is starting to fill up slowly but surely. We usually start about between 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2. Got some good sweet potato pies and some pecan pie and some kind of cheese cake with some kind of filling or something. Sound like it's good. Got it from Costco. People were raving about it. It was flying out of there because I guess people heard about it, and we were lucky to really get one last night.
Tate, you said something that pulled at my heartstrings there. I want to say this for everybody to hear. Sweet potato pie over pumpkin pie all day of the week. Stop it.
Thank you.
Nonsense.
Thank you.
I agree.
Total facts.
Yeah. That sweet potato pie is different. Not that I dislike pumpkin pie. I just like sweet potato pie better.
Hey, if you see somebody eating a piece of pumpkin pie without whipped cream, call the authorities. That's a serial killer.
But yeah, man. So that's what's going on with me tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So I'll probably be eating sometime during the Detroit-Chicago game, which I got Chicago and the points. B-Dirt, you already know. Give me that game on Friday. Well, it'll be over with. So make that my game now, my Thanksgiving pick. Chicago and the points.
I got one for you guys real quick. So I just looked at right here. I guess Sports Center on ESPN that tweeted out it's a start, bench, and cut or trade kind of thing when it comes to Thanksgiving dishes. So the choices are mac and cheese, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and yams. Start one, bench one, cut one, or trade.
Macaroni and cheese, stuffing,
Mashed potatoes.
Yams and mashed potatoes?
Yep, that's 4. And then start, bench, cut, or trade. I'm gonna kick this one off. Obviously, I'm starting mac and cheese. I just already told you that's the dish I'm looking forward to. Okay, especially if it's baked mac and cheese. Bench, I'm going to put mashed potatoes on the bench. I'm going to go ahead and just cut yams. I do not like yams. I'm sorry if that makes people feel some kind of way, but that is the worst dish ever to have, in my opinion. Stuffing, I'll trade it and bring me some like cranberry sauce or something. I don't know, but like I'll trade stuffing or dressing, however whoever wants to say it that way. But
the cranberry sauce is what go with best with the dressing.
hey, but you know what? You could eat cranberry sauce by itself too if you're really a psychopath. For
that best bite is the cranberry sauce with some dressing on the fork.
I would do the same as you, except I would flip flop the mashed potatoes. I would trade those, and I would bench the stuffing. And the reason why is I think stuffing reminds me that it's Thanksgiving. Mashed potatoes have throughout the year here and there. Stuffing basically only at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, B Dirt. I'm trading the mashed potatoes, not necessarily with, like, my sister makes a mean sweet potato casserole. It's sweet potatoes whipped up with a little bit of whipped cream. I mean, and whatever else you do, that stuff is good, man. It's like a dessert.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to have that, the dressing, and I'm starting the mac and cheese like you, Jay Lacey.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Yeah. Shannon, Tim?
Tim's over there wanting to talk about the offensive line.
What were the options again?
So
bad. Start, bench, trade, cut.
Okay.
Start, bench, trade, or cut.
Hold on.
And what were the options?
Tate, this man hasn't hit the 40 minutes into any podcast this year without saying run the damn ball. He's going to start quivering at some point in time in the corner over there.
I got something to say about this. So we can hurry up and get to the game. We got about 20 minutes left, so we won't spend all that on this game.
Yeah, true.
Let's get this thing
but the options was mac and cheese, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and yams. Start, bench, cut, or trade. Tell me if you want to give it a rundown.
Who gets cut is all that really matters.
I'm cutting the yams.
Okay. Shannon, who you cutting?
I like them all. So, I guess I would have to cut the. Oh gosh, mac and cheese.
Okay.
Mac and cheese.
That's an upset right there.
You got yellow ones for Pittsburgh yellow, and you gonna cut the yellow mac and cheese?
I love it all, but I'd have to cut that one, I guess.
Yeah, I like them all too, but nah, I'm not. I'm benching or trading mashed potatoes, like B Dirt say. You had that several times. You had that with every holiday dinner, I think.
Right, for real.
But all right, well, let's get into the game, fella. I guess Big-G out there on smoked turkey duty.
Your boy said Timmy D in the comment said cut the LA yams. I'm getting weak off of that comment.
Timmy D.
That was good. But so we got ball. We got to talk some ball here.
Yeah, so my thing about running the ball, and Jay Lacey said it earlier, we were talking about it. You guys running the ball is to me against where you've made your investment. You're making your investment in Joe Burrow, you have Jamar Chase, you will, T. Higgins, you did this year, so we need to get to it. You decided that you weren't going to be a run first team when you let Joe Mixon go. Unless you could have everybody said they could have upgraded now if they let their back go and gave Derrick Henry $8 million a year like the Ravens are doing. I mean, I think Derrick Henry would be just as effective in the Bengals offense as he has been in the
I don't think so.
Ravens offense.
I disagree with you 100% on that because the Cincinnati Bengals, we are a pass first team. We're going to throw the ball 70% of the time.
Well, that's why I said that's where your investment is at. I said if you want to commit to the run game, you would have signed Derrick Henry.
Well, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but even when we had Joe Mixon, we still threw the ball 70% of the time with Joe Burrow as our quarterback. Zach Taylor likes to throw the ball. We're not going to run the ball. That's the biggest issue we've had since Joe Burrow's been on this team is everybody wants to throw. And then now they're finally starting. But when they finally do start mixing in the run, it's because we're winning or it's garbage time or we're running, we're actually running the clock down. There are some instances where we do get some good runs, like one game, Chase Brown ran for 27 attempts, which was not like the Bengals, but we were winning the game though too.
A winning effort?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yep. It was during a winning effort. So, of course, I'm going to preach run the damn ball because as you guys know, running the ball is going to open up so many options, the play action, and it's not going to have the freaking linebackers and the edge rushers waiting to eat on Joe Burrow because they know he's going to drop back and throw the ball. So mix it up. It's going to open it up.
It's not just the amount of times too. And I've been beating the drum. We got to run the ball 20 times a game, period. And we rarely do. But the biggest thing to me, Tate, I'll do it in our group chat. I'll sit there and just start calling out plays when we line up. Like run right, run left, blah, blah, blah. Because you can see it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's so vanilla. Our run game is so vanilla. There's never anything second level. The block never looks past that first level. The block, if a tight end goes in motion, send everybody that way. Because that's where they run the ball to. It's bad. Then there's no cutbacks. There's no planned cutback screen. There's no nothing.
Who's playing tackles this week for the Bengals?
We got Orlando Brown Jr. back at practice, so he should be good to go at left tackle, which the last few weeks has been Cody Glenn. No, Cody Ford. And then Amarius Mims, our first round pick, is at right tackle. He's been pretty good, but he also had his rookie moments up and down. So it is going to be a pretty consistent offensive line as far as like the tackles go. They should be able to hang in there, I should say, with TJ Watt. And whether it's Alex Highsmith playing or not, I'm going to make the assumption that he isn't. I did see that he was listed as questionable at practice and stuff. That might be a game time decision, but Nick Herbig is a guy that can still come out there and rush the passes like crazy. It doesn't matter. So, but those are our tackles. But as far as like the running game goes, I mean, I'll just kind of sum it up in this effort. The Bengals are just not a creative running team. They like to instill the run when they can, but it's only when it's convenient for them when they mix it in with the pass. And it's frustrating because there can be games like we saw during our Super Bowl run year in 2021, where if you just lean on the run throughout the game, if it gets a little messy, it's okay. It might not be pretty as all on offense, but you got the dub. And that's where the Bengals are just, it seems like that they want to do that more, but they just don't have the personnel to do that. And the creativity when it comes to the run game, it just wasn't there, man. It hasn't been there all season. We like what Chase Brown can do, but he's not an every down back, but we're forcing him to play like an every down back. It's similar like if Jaylen Warren was going to take 100% of the snaps and running back, that's not a great sustainable recipe for a guy that size. You need a Najee Harris or something like that to be able to add to it.
Need thunder with lightning. I will say this, Mims has a nicked up ankle that he's resting right now. So we need to make sure that we see that. Afton made a comment, said when Mims shows up, he's fierce. He's been fierce, except for a couple blunders, literally just mental blunders on pass blocking. Run blocking, he looks like he's not sure what he's doing.
Hey Shannon, what do the Steelers need to do to win this game?
They need to show up. They need to control the line of scrimmage. They have a more talented offensive line this year, but they didn't show up last week. If they can start to control the line of scrimmage, run the ball up the middle, get Najee heading north and south, not east and west, that opens up everything, the play action. And then on defense, they're going to have to figure out a way to get Watt more involved. And they cannot let Cincy run the ball. If Cincy runs the ball and they have to use the middle linebackers to try to slow that down, they're going to get picked apart. So that's the two main things they're going to focus on.
Okay, I think I agree with that. Big G, from an offensive perspective, what do the Steelers need to do?
Run the ball straight at Cincinnati. Their defense is weak as hell in the middle. We're going to run straight at them. Not off tackle. We're running in between the tackles. We're going to run straight at them. And then that's going to set up play action. And ultimately, we're going to hit them in the seams with Muth and Washington. That the Bengals' weakness is their defense in the middle. They're not strong in the middle. And we're going to go straight at them. That's how we're going to win. It's not rocket science. It's very simple. The question is defensively for the Steelers. That's what you have to do. I already done figured out what they're going to do. They're going to put all kind of pressure on them tackles. That's why I asked. They're going to try to destroy the tackles. They're going to bracket Chase. And JPJ is going to take T. Higgins one-on-one. Just like how the old Patriots used to play when they would play defense. They would take Revis Island and put him on the opposite receiver and bracket the best receiver. That's what they're going to do this week. And they're going to blitz him 50% of the time. They're going to try to knock Joe Burrow clean up out the game. That's the whole plan. Knock him out the game.
Okay.
So when you say knock him out the game, do you mean like knock him and injure him, or just mean knock him off his rhythm?
Physically hit him multiple times and see what happens. Physically hit him multiple times and see what happens. That's how you beat them. You physically put Joe Burrow on the ground all day, every day.
Yo, key to the game.
Who are we talking about? Which one?
Yeah, I didn't hear him.
I said B Dirt. Yo, key to the game.
Blocking and tackling. When it comes to when you look at these two teams on offense, George Pickens is a very good young player. I like him. I love the fact that he's unorthodox and does crazy shit every day. I would 100% say we have a better quarterback. We have better weapons on the offensive side of the ball. I would 100% say it's more weapons. I like a couple of your weapons on defense better. Like TJ is a little bit better than Trey Hendrickson. I think, your middle linebackers I like a little bit more than ours right now. Like, I think your corners I like a little bit more than ours right now. So I give that's kind of the yin and yang of this. The question is, can our defense do anything to get stops or turnovers?
Mm-hmm.
If so, we got a shot. If not, right now I look at it. I think that's the whole key to the game. Can we get stops and get you guys off the field? I think we'll score points regardless of who we play. I think Joe Burrow will will it to be, and it's can we make some stops, because right now I trust your defense to make more plays than our defense. Period.
Okay. Super chat from the homie Claude Bishop. This is anti-matrix because I happen to agree with him. Other teams' weaknesses until it turns out to be their strength against the Steelers. I think last week that played itself out perfectly. I was expecting a huge game from the Steelers pass rush. Jameis got one sack. They couldn't get any. Jameis was like having a drink while he's back there in the pocket, some hot cocoa, and carving the Steelers defense up. We made Jerry Jeudy look like Jerry Rice. I mean, So I think what Claude says is 100% right there. We can't let a team's weakness, we can't let Cincinnati's defensive play, as it's been played out thus far this year, be strong against us. We have to be able to run the ball first, pound it with Najee, hit them with some Jalen Warren every now and then look for play action. Like Big G set up the scene. I think Mike Williams is going to play more this game. I think you're going to see some Russ Moon balls on both sides. Going to Pickens, going to Mike Williams. I think there's going to be a big screen pass either with Najee or Jalen Warren. Just going to set up for that because the way I'm expecting them to be able to run the ball. But we'll see all that Friday. We're going real quick get to a score prediction from everybody. What we'll do, we'll do a Bengals guy first, and one of us Steelers guys, and back and forth. So Tim, you go first, and I'll go after you with my prediction.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so I have zero faith in the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Our defense is gonna. I'm afraid that we're gonna go out there and make Russell Wilson and your guys' offense look like freaking Super Bowl champs. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm just afraid that Russell Wilson's gonna go out there and have his way with the pass game. You know, as G said, to Washington and Freiermuth and the Pickens. But then I also am afraid that we've been doing okay against the run game. I think we're down to like 4.1 yards a carry, for the defense. So, but I'm just afraid that Najee's just going to pound the ball, and then you're going to get it Jalen, and he's gone. So that being said, I have all the faith in the world in Joe Burrow, but I have no faith in the world in our defense. I'm going to say the Steelers win 24-20 because of a field goal.
I like that, Tim. That's not that's not bias. Obviously, that's not bias. You picked the Steelers.
No, it's hard to be biased when you have a defense that can't stop a cold. Our best player on the field is Trey Hendrickson, and he's the only one doing anything all year long. He can only do so much. Think about it. If we had your guys' defense and TJ Watt, Super Bowl all the way. But the way this is going, we might make it a 7-10, or a 7-10 season.
Joe Burrow is one of the top passers in the league,
and unfortunately, we're still 4-7.
He solidified himself this year as a top 3 quarterback, I think.
Yeah.
But my prediction is, I like this score Tim says. I mean, and frankly, I want to beat Cincinnati this week as a Steeler fan, just because I don't want to potentially have to see them later down the line, whether it be that last game and they plan for something, or it be in the first round matchup in the playoffs. I don't want no parts of Cincinnati in a meaningful game. So it's best to go ahead and rid yourself of your demons now. Go ahead and beat them. Run the ball, hit play action, and play good defense. And I like that 24-20 scores. Some me and Tim believe together. Do I got to go to this Big-G for agreeing with Tim?
That's kind of odd. Tate and I are agreeing on something.
Okay. So now, Jay Lacey, you go.
All right. So in short layman's terms, I'm actually going to go Cincinnati with this one. Usually on our show, we have a match of opportunities and then our weakness in our concerns. Look, there's a lot of laundry list of concerns when it comes to the Bengals defense. I get it. And they still got concerns. The secondary is my number one concern, not necessarily the run defense. I think the run defense has actually progressed and got better. So it's not really going to be as easy for Najee Harris or even Jaylen Warren, for that matter, to run the ball. Actually, I do caution. Let me retract that statement a little bit. I do worry more about Jaylen Warren because he is the more of the shiftier back that can just go get to the second level quick.
Bet corner time. We run for 150 on y'all. Bet it right now. 15 minutes.
No, I'm not betting against that.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll take that corner time for 15 minutes.
That's a bet. 150. We're going for 150.
That's fine.
As a team, we're going for 150.
It's not saying that you ain't going to be able to run the ball on us, but I just caution you with the understanding that the Bengals' run defense is actually not as bad as what they were earlier in the season. They actually kind of rounded in form a little bit there, but they still are not a good unit. Let's just kind of keep that a buck. They're still the best portion of their defense is the pass rush, and that's the number one opportunity that I'm going to go with here. Russell Wilson, he still wants to be let Russ cook Russ sometimes. And quite frankly, it got him into trouble when he was going against that Cleveland's defense. Even though Martin Emerson was having a bad game, I mean, he still was looking to try to chase after him when it came to Jerry Jeudy being on him and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I got it mixed up with George Pickens was catching deep balls and stuff like that as well. I thought the Steelers was going to win the game, but I'm also not surprised that they lost the game because Thursday night games on the road is tough for the road team. But if that game was in, I want to say Heinz Field, but it's not. If that game was in Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh, in my eyes, no doubt would have won that game. I don't.
No, diddy. No Diddy. You got to chill.
Jay Lacey, we don't do deep balls. We do long balls.
All right.
Is that
Good to
any
know.
better, Tate?
That's noted.
I don't understand.
Yeah, they're both bad.
They're both, yeah.
Deep,
that's crazy.
Passes.
But just kind of wrap up my point. The number one concern that I have for real, and it's going to work against the strength of the Bengals, realistically, is Pittsburgh's secondary is naturally built to slow down what we do best on offense, and that is passing the ball. Everybody talks about Joey Porter Jr. or whatnot, and how he can kind of roll on an island on some of the best receivers. But me personally, I'm more concerned with Beanie Bishop and his emergence in that defense. I know you got Dante Jackson. I know you got Joey Porter Jr., as I mentioned, and I like Joey Porter Jr. He's a lockdown corner. But Beanie Bishop already has 3 picks on the year, and he's an undrafted guy out of West Virginia. And I don't think that the Bengals, outside of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and maybe Mike Gesicki, we do not have a receiving threat that can just take the top off the defense. We still don't know what we got in Jermaine Burton. So my answer is that the Bengals need to commit to a running game this time around, and if they want to win this game, because now Jamar Chase is on another world this season. He's leading the league in receiving yards. He's a Triple Crown leading receiver this year. But at the end of the day, man, I think that you got to trust in Joe Burrow to be able to make the right plays and get the right calls to put the people in the right position when it comes to this particular defense. This is not Baltimore's defense. Pittsburgh is much tougher than Baltimore in terms of like physicality standpoint. But I also do think the reason why I'm going with the Bengals to win this game is simply because out of everybody in the AFC North, Joe Burrow is still the one quarterback that can get under Pittsburgh's skin and kind of be somewhat of their kryptonite a little bit. It's never was Lamar. You guys always had Lamar's number. So when y'all beat him a couple weeks ago, I wasn't surprised. I'm not going to put the Bengals to get 30 points in this game. I'll say 27, maybe 27 to 20. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer there. The Bengals are at home. But that doesn't mean anything because you got Steelers fans that's going to roll up in our stadium with the terrible towels anyway. So, but I think the Bengals do win this game. I think that they do at least kind of breathe a sigh of release, like, oh, finally we get a win over a team with a winning record, because they haven't done that yet this year neither.
Okay, Big G, real quick. Well, not real quick. Take 60 seconds and tell us your thoughts, man, your score.
We're going to beat the living hell out of the Bengals. I'm telling you right now, we're going to win 28-14. We're going to keep the ball away from them, and we're going to put Joe Burrow on the ground. We're going to bracket Chase Young. Not Chase Young. The wide receiver, Jamar Chase. He's going to have a decent game because we're going to bracket him. A lot of things underneath, but nothing deep. And JPJ got T. Higgins one-on-one.
I'll bet you corner time you can't keep us under 20.
20 points?
Yep.
No bet, because the game might be 28-20. The game might be 28. But 28 points going to win it for us. 28 points. But we got to put Joe Burrow on the ground. No escaping. No running up in the pocket with both hands on the ball. Hit him early and often and put him on the ground.
B Dirt, I got 10 minutes over under 20.5.
I'll take it.
Bet. All right, B Dirt, you up next.
I'm gonna say, man, I listen. I took the Chargers last week in the game. I didn't like the way it's set up. I like that we're coming off of bye week. I like that we're coming off of bye week. I love ping pong, so I'm in on this one. 33-27. Bengals beat the Steelers.
Ooh. Okay, we gave up 33 points this year. We had a bad game against somebody. I don't remember if it was 33 points, though. Dallas did. Yeah, no. Dallas or the Colts did score 30. Yeah. Shannon, your thoughts and prediction on the game, man?
Well, there's a lot in this game. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Mike Tomlin is one time lost back-to-back divisional games. Ever. They played awful the other night. TJ Watt got embarrassed. I think he's the best defender walking the planet. And we had to listen to Myles Garrett run his mouth all week. I think TJ's ready for a breakout game. regardless of what they try to do to stop him.
Do you think they should move TJ around?
I think they will move him, and I do think they need to. People said he don't like it. I don't buy that. You can move him in, let him, put him off ball, let him rush up the middle. There's different ways. You don't even have to put him all the way on the left side. But I don't like this matchup. Looking at it on paper with the Bengals' success and talented passing attack. But I think this is just going to be more about the will and the want to of these two teams at the moment. I think that was one of the worst games Mike Tomlin ever coached. And I expect him to be uber focused and have his team focused to have a bounce back performance. I think it's going to be very physical. And I believe that the Steelers will win. I'm going to say 34-30.
Oh, that don't make me feel too good about my bet I just made.
The only concern that I have is the weather. As long as it ain't the slop fest we saw Thursday night, I think both teams will be fine. If it 4 or 5 inches of snow, lake effect snowfall during the game, that will change everything.
No snow, Shannon. It's going to be about 22 degrees, though.
No lake either.
No, yes, it's going to be about 22 degrees, no snow. 22, 23 degrees. It's going to be cold.
I do have a comment for somebody in the chat over here in your chat, fam. Mod, sharpen your pen. I'd like to run this wearing the other team's hat back on our Monday night game. If you want to take that pill.
Who plays Monday night?
A week from Monday, we play the Cowboys in Dallas. So last time I lost to the Bengals lost to the Cowboys, I had to wear a Cowboys hat during a podcast. I want to extend that bet back to him again, if he would like to accept my bet. If we win, he loses. He wears a Bengals hat. If the Bengals win, I have to buy another Cowboys hat because I gave that one away to somebody.
Okay, we'll talk to Mod sometime. Another super chat from Gerald. What is it?
Abney, Gerald Abney.
Abney. It's going to be a rumble in the jungle for sure. This is a big game for both teams, whether we believe it or not. It's big for Cincinnati. I mean, they're 4-7, right? They need to run 6 straight. Now, I don't doubt that they're capable. That's why I want to just off with the head right now, because they scare me. Another super chat, $5. Thanks to the homie, Mr. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Governor Tim. Oh, we got the Lieutenant Governor here. Tim is here. Of the Matrix, the Bengals are home and they're desperate. 31-27. Bengals on a late drive against a defense who can't stop a team from scoring late. Well, they stopped Baltimore from scoring late. At least that 2-point conversion. Like I said, they gave up the house money against the Cowboys, or we wouldn't even be in this situation. We'd be 9. We would have been 8-2 going into this game, this past game against the Browns, and we'd be 9-2 now going into this game. But oh well, stuff happens. The NFL, still a lot of football left. So with all that being said, B Dirt, go ahead and plug your pod, plug your channel, what you guys got going on. Big G, do the same for us, and we're gonna go get out of here.
Listen, Run Through the Jungle. We every Wednesday night we hit it up live to run it through the jungle. We do the roaring reactions. Normally the Monday after the game. Tim does Who Day Weekly every Tuesday on our YouTube channel. Goes up Wednesday. Justin Lacey actually right now downloading as we speak. Justin, what was the podcast you did? Oh, Big G, find him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just bangling around. You know, it was a conversation that based off of, you know, growing conversation that's just been going around with, you know, that we've been seeing in Bengals Nation and whatnot, that something a little bit different, but a little bit more of that to be had down the stretch, you know, especially more so as we're going to enter in the off season when the season's over. We got a lot to talk about.
Wednesdays at 6:35, we have Pay Dirt. Go there. Get your gambling on. My Bell, thank you. The duel is on. He's accepted the hat game. Love it. That's all we got.
Okay. Hey, everybody, and if you like good podcasts, good content, go ahead. Any of our listeners that want to check B Dirt, Tim Lyons and J Lacey out, go ahead and subscribe to the Run Through the Jungle channel. It's all Fans First Sports Network family. We all under one umbrella. And yeah, check them out. They got some good stuff over there. So Big-G, go ahead and what we got going on our side of things.
Well, thanks again for rocking with us on the Steel Curtain Network show. We appreciate you guys coming out on a Wednesday. Happy early Thanksgiving to all the people in the live chat. You could have been anywhere, but we appreciate you guys this week on the live chat. Definitely, we had a lot of things, a lot of good talk, a lot of good conversation over there. This week going forward on Friday, you can catch the Steel Curtain Network, me and Tate Boy Fresh, and with B Dirt and the rest of the crew on the Homies and Homies Overtime podcast. You can check us out Sunday, me and Tate Boy Fresh and Mod, with the Know It Alls podcast live at 6 p.m. on YouTube. You can definitely check me out Monday on the Level Up College Football podcast after we get through rivalry week and figure out what's going on with the college football playoff. The No Cap recap on Monday nights with me, myself, and Payday and Tate Boy Fresh. And then swing back on around here next week and check me, Shannon, and the fellas out with the PYB podcast for Steelers. Steelers say Steelers place all week on.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
You know what you did, Big-G.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Shannon. We know Monday you got the hangover with Daniel J. You guys,
yes, hopefully it'll be a celebratory podcast.
right.
I want to echo what Big G said. Thank you for everybody, our community, the PYB community, the Hangover the community, the Homies community, SCN, just a big family. I appreciate everybody. I hope you have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving, celebrating with family and friends, making cherished memories. And again, just appreciate all of you. God bless.
Yeah, man. Well, for myself and Shannon and Big-G, and for B Dirt, Jay Lacey and Tim Lyons, we appreciate you guys. While we go out, we'll put this up here. This is our QR code. You can scan and subscribe to the Know It Alls crew. This is some of everything that we got going on, like B Dirt and Big-G had mentioned. Between the five of us, we're on the Steel Curtain Network. Mod is doing the DC4L podcast. Obviously, B Dirt and the Running Through the Jungle channel. Pay frustrated Chicago sports fans. Do the Bears, the Bulls. He's been real frustrated lately from both his professional teams. And the Pay Dirt podcast. Get some good football betting information. B Dirt, real quick. Are you taking Michigan in the points this week?
No comment.
Okay. Did y'all do a Pay Dirt today?
We did. I abstained from that.
You're staying away from it. Okay. All right.
I abstained from that one. I will let you know that Pay did take Ohio State minus 20.5.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So everybody go to the Know It Alls, scan and take you right there if you scan the QR code. Go to it, give us a subscribe, And you can hear any or all of these shows on the Know It Alls channel and FFSN on audio for sure. So with that being said, Shannon, Tim needed more talk from you. It's a little difficult, Claude, to talk when there's 6 of us on one show. So we try to engage everyone in some aspect, but we'll be back to normal next week. So until then, we out of here. We're gonna go out one more time listening to the combo outro. So we'll see you guys next week. Peace.